Hello guys, si Kesran Veloso ulit ito at welcome sa episode 14 ng larutan ng Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. Medyo natagalan akong bago mag-recording ulit guys so tuloy lang natin. Outsider. Kailangan pa natin makahanap ng clues para malaman natin kung sino yung kung anong problema dito, sino yung pumapatay doon sa mga elders. Hintayin lang natin yung load. Hindi ko maintindihan bakit yung Shadowrun Returns tsaka Dragonfall mabilis mag-load. Bakit tong Hong Kong ang bagal? Pareho lang naman yung engine ng game. Kalimutan ko talaga kung anong gagawin natin dito. Teka. Ayun. So, nakuha na natin yung susi. So, punta na natin yung jackpoint. Check na. Nasa atin naman talaga. Hanap tayong clues dito kung meron man. Ito. Display case. This bin is full of assorted chips, peripherals, and add-on modules for cyberdecks. They don't seem to be arranged in any coherent fashion and are spread across the felt surface. Search through the bin. Leave the bin alone. Search through the bin na lang. You sift through the display case, searching for anything that might prove interesting. Isabel peers past you into the bin as you search. That's interesting. There's a lot of storage memory I/O handlers and active memory in this bin. I'm not seeing any MCP hardware. Response increase chips or anything relating to the hot shit decking Magpie was supposed to be into. In fact, you couldn't even build a full deck with this without the MPCP. It would just be a glorified comlink. What do you think it means? Well, if I had to guess, I'd say somebody's cleared her out. MPCP response increase. Biofeedback filters and all that. They're easy to move, expensive and highly illegal. All the rest of this crap is good, but it's nothing you could pick up at any electronic shop. You'd have to know what you're looking for. Though. Only a good decker would know what they're seeing. Could Magpie have taken them with her? Isabel just restored one of the other displays. A pair of small cyber decks sit inside the locked case. I guess so, but if she did that, why would she leave the completed cyber decks? No, I think this was theft. Okay, so nanakawan siya. Tapos, iba pang clues. Ito na to. Open server. The front of the server's case hung open. The inner machinery quiet and without power. A clipboard is stuck to the side by a piece of duct tape. Its papers filled with a long list of programs and their prices. A quick glance over the program sheet reveals names like Bugs, and Black Hammer. Undoubtedly, this was Magpie's attack program storage machine. Somebody's removed the drives, and it sure wasn't Magpie. Here, look. Isabel gestures to the innards of the open server. Near the back, a solitary red light blinks. The main drives were disconnected properly, but it looks like she modded the server to have a backup drive with its own battery-based power supply. If it was Magpie, she'd have taken that too. So yun nga. So, ninalooban siya. So, paano yan? Sino yun? Crap, this is a Pucci XB1000 and it looks like the battery power ran out a while ago. The XB1000s are constant write drives. They're dirt cheap and have a ton of capacity. But if they run out of power, they lose their data. Kailangan lagi may ano yun, pangit ng hard drive na na. We're not gonna be able to get anything off this drive. Okay, next. Okay. Ito. Magpie's desk. Magpie's desk is the kind of messy most people only associate with rats' nests, hoarders, and deckers. The surface of the deck is filtered with cigarette butts, half-finished cans of soy calf, and scraps of electronics. A towering pile of empty instant noodle bowls sits next to it. Their sides are blazoned with Honest Wang's instant old-time laymen, and depict a line of top hat wearing caterpillars dancing with canes. Hey, awesome! I didn't think anybody but me liked Honest Wang's noodles. Flavor like you've never tasted in a package of instant noodles. I promise. Gabet taps the side of one of the containers. See, this one's cheese curry. This one's cheese curry broccoli. I don't know why I never caught on. It never caught on, honestly. Duncan shoots you a sidelong glance, mumbling Soto voice. Gee, who could pass up the delicious taste of cheese, cheese curry, and freeze-dried vegetables? Gabbett seems oblivious to Duncan's sarcasm. I know, right? People out there have no idea what kind of culinary delights they're missing. Search the desk. Baka may items pa dyan eh. You gingerly root around in the desk, doing your best to avoid the more disgusting piles and spills. It isn't easy. The desk's drawers are stuffed to overflowing with receipts, cigarette packs, optical chips, and cables. Most of the contents are boring, useless, and disgusting. While searching one of the bottom drawers, however, a low-quality tin lockbox catches your eye. Someone has pried the latch off, leaving a ragged hole where a lock should be. The interior of the box has several sleeves for storing keycards, all of which are empty. A small note is taped to the interior of the box. Spare stockroom keys. The door is in the rear of Mrs. Young's restaurant. Do not lose these. Use only if I am not available to open the stockroom. A stockroom, huh? So who broke the lockbox to get the keys out? Maybe it was one of the elders. They need the key for this place. Probably whoever cleared out Magpie's equipment. Oh, yan. Yun ang mas likely na answer. I'm thinking you're right. Whoever tore the latch of the box was in a hurry, and if the elders could have cracked the maglock without much trouble, and most regular Wampawans could too. This seems like somebody who was tossing the place and wanted to get in and out as fast as possible. If someone was after Magpie's gear, her stockroom would be a good mine. Okay, leave the desk alone. So yan. So meron na naman tayo nakuwang clue. Find the key to Magpie's stockroom. Oh, meron pa dito. You search Magpie's bathroom. There's not much in here. A toothbrush, toilet paper, some hairpins, and a collection of cheap makeup. The combination bath shower unit, however, has minor flakes of a dry reddish substance near the drain. Dried blood. Prying open the drain cover, it looks like quite a bit of it was shed as well. Shit, maybe Magpie didn't take a trip after all. With that amount of blood, I'm guessing someone killed her quietly, and then drained her body in the bath. It'd make it cleaner to relocate. This doesn't seem to match the killer's other scenes though. Clever, that's a careful plan. Oo nga, parang hindi nga akma. Yung una, minurder nila ng maana yung masyadong nila yung katawan yung pinagwawakwak, ito hindi masyado. Okay, that's a careful plan. I'm thinking there's a lot more going on with these murders than we were initially told. First, they don't even mention Magpie to us, and now it looks like she's been killed. Something's not right here. Something's not right here, Tank. Let's not mention this to the elders if they're hiding anything. They may start cleaning up their tracks better. So may nagsisinungaling doon sa mga elders kung ganon ba yun? So okay. Parking garage. Paano? Teka. May nakita akong pwede nating makausap doon sa nung lumabas tayo doon sa mga elders Basikan nga natin sandali. Ito yung banda dito sa shop na to. Minvang. The owner of the shop barely looks from his PDA while greeting you. His tone is one of immense boredom. Welcome to Minvang Matrix Materials, aka MVMM. What can I get you? Show me what you have for sale. Okay. See you later. Mga programs lang. Ito. Drug Mill Mark 1. Drone. Ang mga drones. Drones consumables programs. Wala. Anyway, wala rin ako mabibili Meron pa tayo makakausap dito. Wala na yata. dito sa kabilang shop. Wing cake Quack. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Quack Atelier, home of the finest clothing in Whampoa Garden. I am the owner, Master Tailor Wing Cake Quack. How may I serve you? I didn't expect Whampoa Garden to have a tailor in it. Ah, okay. Ito na. Show me what you have. Ito. I didn't expect Whampoa Garden to have a tailor's in it. Many people don't. There's a mistake impression that we Whampoans are only interested in technology and the matrix. But even technologists need clothing, don't they? And many of us gravitate towards lines of work where added protection is required. I myself am a materialist scientist as well as a keen follower of fashion trends. What kind of materials? What kind of materials science? Fiber related, of course. Primarily aramid fibers, graphene composites, and dilettants. It affords me a certain unique perspective when designing clothing that is not only beautiful but defensive as well. I specialize in high fashion body armor, similar to the kind crafted by Secure Tech or Fashion Island, but with a much more personal touch. Show me what you have. Okay. Wala rin naman akong mapipili. Exit. Balik na lang tayo dito if ever. Kung magkakaroon tayo ng pambili, balikan natin. Okay, sino to? Rainbow. This woman spots brilliantly. He, this woman sports brilliantly hued hair that shifts color, scintillating with every passing moment. She is powerfully built, a natural athlete, or someone who works out a great deal. Notably, a large shotgun rests on an arcade cabinet next to her. She affords you a short glance as you approach. When she speaks, you note a peculiar lyrical accent to her voice. Something I can help you with there, friend? You're throwing off me game, and I'm trying to beat my best score. That's some interesting hair you have. Ano, iba-ibang kulay nga. Tank. War, Tank War Europa? Tank War Europa? I haven't seen one of those cabinets in years. Okay. That's some interesting hair you have. Well, sure isn't it? Well, sure isn't. Well, sure isn't it the reason they call me Rainbow Smite? She kicks one foot toward the shotgun laying against the cabinet. That shooter's why there's a lot. There's also a smite. After a few moments, Rainbow's game is suddenly over. Her tank obliterated by a barrage of air-to-ground missiles. She hisses her breath in through clenched teeth. Peace on your, peace on your ma. A right robbery that was. Right then, Rainbow shakes her head again and turns to face you fully. You don't seem like them Wampoans. They're all might touched, yeah? Maybe you are too, but you don't advertise it like they do. What's your story? Just here on the job, that's all. I'm looking into the murders that have been happening. Kailangan sabihin ko yun. That's some nasty work. Bodies hacked up, chunks beaten off them. Make sure you're loaded for something big and ugly, that's for certain. Where are you from? I can't place the accent. What are you doing in Whampoa Garden? See you later, Rainbow as well. Born and raised in Dublin, down on the banks of the Lake Liffey. Spent most of s- uh, spent most of my early life there, working security on sacred spaces, the historical sites or undeveloped land. The green movement was big in those days. It was a bit like being a park ranger, but sure didn't it beat some dead end desk job. Spent a lot of time County Du- around County Dublin and Wicklow. Sana tama yung pronunciation ko. Wicklow. I always loved animals, being a, uh, and I found out being a ranger put me in close with them. It was a good time, yeah. Making sure the making sure the budding new species like the budgies and centaurs didn't upset the ecology of Wicklow National Park much. Also kept the nastier bits like the H. Osage from running amok across populated areas. What's that? An eat whiskey? An H. Osage? Isn't that a demon horse? Sige, to. Ay, that's right. They're cannibal horses. Basically nasty buggers that drag people into bogs and drown you. Sometimes people call them kelpies on account of the water plants they pop out of. Kelpie. Anyway, as I was saying, problem was I started to develop this wee knock, this wee knack. Just a small thing. I keep magic from working when I'm around. Spells don't go. Spirits fall apart, and the para critters get real feisty. Yeah. To make things worse, this was around the time Liam O'Connor threw his coup and formed Tir Nanog. With all his fancy talk about elves and ancient magic, it was a bit scandalous to have a woman guarding ancient sites that wasn't just mundane, but also killed magic around her. So I got fired. You're older than Tir Nanog? Okay, yeah. At ayan guys, naayos ko lang yung ano ko, yung chair ko. Bang on! And I don't look a day over 25, do I? Rainbow flexes one arm, grinning widely. I'm Irish, not one of them noggins. Pack of panthers, the lot of them, always going on about their ancestral lands and the glory of the past and all that bullshit. I saw them kick dozens of old Irish families off their land just because their ears weren't pointy enough, or they didn't meet some stupid arbitrary old nobility criteria of old nobility. It was that kind of thing that brought back the IRA, just like in the bad old days of the Troubles. The skivers in the new tier didn't pay for the land they took. They just had a pack of bullies with guns. Rainbow scrunches her face up into a disgusted sneer, and Max spits at the ground. I've always been sympathetic to the little guy in a fight. They offered to pay for my help, so I said yes. Simple as that. So you became a terrorist? And bounty hunter naman siguro. Don't be so dramatic. They fixed me up with a cyber snatcher and gave me a lot of the kit I've got in me now, in exchange for going overseas to work for them. Smuggling, running guns, making contacts in Europe. Some kind of shit all revolutionary groups do. Seeing as how we own we own fam got uh, seen as seen as how me own family and malamang got kicked out of their house. I was glad to do it. I still do work for them these days, but there's a lot less of it. Lady they cracked down on dissidents, but good. What are you doing in Wampoa Garden then? See you later, Rainbow. Okay. Me, I'm a bit of a big game hunter these days. I get into strange places, look for some kind of paracritter I've not seen before, and then I put a bullet in it. So ano siya? Ah, mas malala siya sa ano, mas malala siya kaysa Pokemon trainer. Only the nasty ones though. No point in hunting a Talis cat or such. It's only things like gargoyles, barghesps, and whatnot. At all the work I did with them in my youth does a good job of keeping me alive. Kinapasaan din yung accent niya. I was out in Jakarta last year, hunting one of them Indonesian vampires. You ever heard of him? Call him Leyak or Penanggalans, depending on who you ask. Their heads and guts come out of the body cavity and they fly around like a giant messy pile of pasta. Rainbow bears her teeth and pantomimes floating around. Took me a solid 2 months to track her down, but I did. Once the job was done, I asked myself, okay Rainbow, where's the best place in East Asia to find some action? So Hong Kong it was. All the kiwatsits here mean a bigger concentration of odd critters than you'd usually find in a city. Been spending a lot of time down in the storm drains these days. I heard rumors of a rat king down there where a mess of devil rats get all tied together into some kind of big awful rat beast. Haven't tracked it down yet, but I figured it's only a matter of time, yeah? She pats the barrel of her shotgun affectionately. Okay. See you later, Rainbow. Ano siya, may ano, game hunter siya. Okay. Kausapin natin kung may addition pa. Wala na. Arcade pala yun. Okay. Teka. Ito ba wala dito? Wala. Okay. Okay, so nakausap natin itong mga to eh. Okay, wala na rito. So sige, puntahan na natin yung parking garage. So far wala pa. May mga tao dito ah. The objectives. Red Spear Ganger. Ito yung ano, isang objective. Find out what the Red Spear gangers know. Ito. That's far enough, guy. The woman hefts her weapon, tossing a nod towards the gangers behind her. That's our turf. If you're looking for a fix, you're welcome to trade. If you're not here for business, clear the hell out. You try and wander around on our turf, we're gonna have to air you out. So what do you say? You looking for us for a little pick me up? A little nitro to give you some pep. Maybe you want some chips. Take that edge off. You want it? I got it. Show me what show me what you have. Can I look around the garage? Ano ba? Ang mga 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 drugs lang talaga yung gamit niya. Yung mga dala niya sa to. What happened in the fight here? Some of these PTLs you're selling look an awfully lot like they came from Tong's shop. Attack them. Wag naman. Ato na. Yeah, so what? Why do you care? Must have gotten them recently. How'd you know Tong was dead? So if you stole those from Tong's, maybe you saw something I can use in my investigation. Must have gotten them recently. How do you know? Sige ito. Ito masyadong masyado forward baka mag-initiate ng away eh. It's like this. Broken Thumb Yuan was walking down the street and sees this guy go into Tong's joint right at closing time. Tall guy, hunched over, had this shifty gray rain poncho. Had this shitty gray rain poncho draped over him. Now Yuan figured that was weird as hell as he posts up and down up walls. As he posts up and waits. He figures the guy'll come out soon, cause Tong's closing up shop. Nothing for 15 whole minutes. Guy comes out, hustles down the street with nobody saying boo. I figured he was waiting for an ebb in the crowds. Yuan sees some blood smeared on the door, though, so he goes to check it out. Inside, total carnage. But you know what? Tong's not gonna be using his gear any longer. So to hell with it. Yuan jacks the shit out of it. Jacks the lot of it. That's pretty cool. Business is business. So, tama naman. You're damn right it is. That's all I know. The guy had to be the killer. Tall, gray rain poncho, hunched over, also smart about how he came and went. Okay. What happened in the fight here? As far as I know, some police showed up, looking for somebody. They got in here. All of them got killed. Whoever they were, whoever they were after was long gone by the time we showed up. Used to be a lot of Wampoans living here. They all cleared out, muttering about ghosts and shit like that. Have you heard anything else about the murders? Nothing much. I tell you what though. I've got a guy named Kang, and he was down in the storm drain system last week. Something was moving down there. Big too, man-sized, but it wasn't speaking any language Kang understood. Kid beat feet back here as fast as he could. Damas dropped his storm drain key on the way out though. You wanna go looking for whatever it was? You'll have to get a new key from somebody else. Kang stole his from a city worker. Who else might have a key to the storm drains? There's a guy named Porter Lamb who's got keys to pretty much everything. He's somewhere between a cop and a handyman. Ivan also mentioned some elf woman with crazy colored hair who managed to scam a key. He said she hunted paracritters down there, devil rats and shit. Okay. Can I look around the... Okay. Can I look around the garage? Man, are you deaf? What the hell did I tell you? No, you goddamn well can't wander around our turf. The ganger shakes her head and mumbles something about idiots with no harmony, with no memory. Etiquette, socialite. Do you know who Kylie Cheng is? I work for her. She could do you some favors in the future. Ito na lang. Etiquette gang. I'm on business for the Wampoan elders. You're only here because they tolerate you. They hear you're blocking me. Your ass is gonna get kicked all the way to Suen Wan. The ganger shifts nervously, glancing around at her allies. Okay, I'm listening. What kind of missions are you on? I'm investigating the murder of the other elders. The gunfight with the HKPF with the Hong Kong police force might be related. Alright, we only moved in here because all the Wampoans are too shit scared of monsters and ghosts to come back in. The elders told us it was alright if we moved in here. Seem happy to have us camped out, honestly. Look around, knock yourself out. Just stay out of the way of our business. Okay, buti na lang. So, merong susi to sa ano. May susi sa storm drain si ano, si Porter o kaya si Rainbow. Kay Porter na lang ako hihingi. Hindi ano. Sige, balikan natin si Rainbow. Willing naman siya tumulong sa atin if ever. Hey, good to see you again. Something else I can help you with? Do you have a key to the storm drains? Of course I do. How else would I get down to look for strange creepy crawlies, eh? Why'd you ask? Can I borrow it? I want to investigate something down there. Aye, sure. Watch your step down there, though. The drains are a mite bigger than people normally expect. Rainbow tosses you the key. Best of luck. Okay, see you later, Rainbow. Okay, so nakuha natin yung susi. Parking garage. Okay, nakuha natin ito. Isang to. Hindi pa rin nakukuha yung sa stock room. So, balik tayo doon. Save muna natin just in case. Buti kanina hindi tayo dinisgrasya, buntik na. Okay. Balik muna tayo dito. So wala. Ato. Bloody drain. Dried blood and cuts clog the drain. As you look closer, however, something catches your eye. An off-red color that doesn't match the hues of the gore around the drain. Bending closer, it appears to be a small nugget of some kind. Okay, fish the item out. Kaya yun. Broken piece of armor. The nugget upon closer inspection is a chunk of some kind of synthetic ferroplastic. It's got ragged edges as if it was broken off of a longer object. A number of small markings are partially obscured by scratches. Etiquette academic, wala ko niyan eh. Decipher the emblems. Examine the markings more closely. Brushing away some of the dust, you peer at the fragmentary bit of ferroplastic. The scratches and markings on the nugget look like Chinese, but despite how closely you look, you can't decipher their meaning. Meron naman tayong kilala na may nakilala tayo na marunong tumingin ng materials eh. So balikan na lang natin yung si Wing. After a moment, you realize the reason. Not only are the markings fragmentary, the language is actually Japanese. The characters are close enough to be familiar, but too different for you to read. Maybe an expert in armor or foreign languages could help. So, foreign languages, yung tintero nung yung pinagbilan natin ng food items. Tsaka yun nga, pwede rin siguro dun sa kay Wing. You know, I'm not sure who in Whampoa Garden speaks Japanese, but Wing K Kwok has a shop down in the Whampoa itself. By where we met the elders, if anybody around here would know about armor, it would be her. Nakausap natin kanina yun eh. Tapos, blood stains. Dried blood and bullet holes pockmark the floor. Pillars and walls of the parking garage. Dried blood and bullet holes pockmark the floor. Pillars and walls of the parking garage. Judging by the amount of blood staining the floor, multiple people died here. To call the scene bloody would be to do it a disservice. This was a massacre of tremendous proportions. Look at this tank. Duncan points to several scratches on the floor and in the pillar. These scratches look like they're from a long-bladed weapon, like a sword or machete. With the number of bullet holes in the walls and cars around here, they must have just been spraying wildly. Our killer must have fought the Hong Kong police force in here and cut them apart. Since they never found a body, I've got to assume the killer got away. Duncan checks the chamber on his assault rifle. I tell you what, I don't want to have to fight this maniac at close range. And naalala ko talaga dito yung sa Shadowrun Returns, yung killer doon. Parang ganyan yung dating eh. Meron pa ba? Okay, wala na. So nakuha natin yung objective na yan and armor piece. The armor piece. Storm drains. Teka, armor piece muna. K-Wing ko na lang sasabihin. Pwede rin kay Keita eh, kaya lang ito. Yung storm drains. Saka na muna, teka. Kay muna, kay Wing muna. Check ko lang yung time, guys. Malapit na ba tayo matapos pa? Kausapin na lang natin siya sandali, tapos tanong natin kung anong masasabi niya. Welcome back. How may I help you today? Show me what you have. Do you know what kind of armor this piece is from? Perhaps. Let me see it, and I'll tell you what I can find out. Winkey holds the armor piece up to her eye, taking out a jeweler's loop. Yun, timer na. Taking out jeweler's loop to look at it more closely. Japanese markings. I don't recognize all of them, but this first one is Renraku, fairly recognizable to anyone who's used to seeing the name in Hanzi. The composition appears to be high-density ferroceramics, probably boron boron carbide, with an interwoven bioaramid mesh. The staining on the edges suggested it contained packets of silica suspended in polyethylene glycol, similar to the commercially sold gel pack technology. This armor could have withstood a significant amount of impact force. Even standard 7.62 mm rounds wouldn't have had much of a chance of penetrating it. What could penetrate it? But it's still broken. What could penetrate it? Tapusin lang natin itong dialogue na to. High velocity rounds with a tungsten carbide penetrator would be the most common. This is the kind of thing armor piercing discarding sabot rounds were designed to defeat. A dicoted melee weapon could do it as well, but there wouldn't be the kind of splintering at the edge. Same case with EX explosive rounds. We'd see spalling on the backside. On the backside. Ano na yung boses ko? Winkey hands the armor piece back to you. Whoever shot this off the owner came loaded with the right kind of weaponry to get the job done. That's for certain. And you don't carry that kind of ordnance around unless you're sure of what you're facing. It's just too expensive for common carry. So ano yun? Okay, so at least may information na kahit paano. So find the key to Magmash. Search the killer. Okay, yung storm drain na lang. Pero bago tayo pumunta doon, kausapan na rin natin si Keita. If ever. Tapos save na natin doon. Welcome back to Keita's Wanyan chat die. What can I do for you? Hey, can you tell me anything about this piece of armor? See you later, Keita. Keita shoots you a quizzical look. I own a street food cart. What makes you think I know anything about armor? Is it made of rice flour or something? I was hoping you could translate some Japanese on it. Oh, in that case, I actually can help you. Let me see. He turns the chunk of armor over in his hands. Peering at it closely, after a moment, he hands it back. It says Shunraku Kabushiki Geisha. It's the Japanese name for Renraku Applied Sciences, the materials research branch of Renraku Asia. Where the hell did you get this anyway? I fished it out of a drain in the parking garage. I think it came from the person killing the Wampoan elders. Malamang, pero sabihin na natin to. No kidding. That's the hell of a place to find a piece of high-tech armor that's got a Renraku mark on it. Why would it have been in there? I think the serial killer fought some cops in there. Keita's expression turned dubious. I don't know much about the images, but this seems like some pretty rare armor to find on a serial killer. I don't think of the off-the-shelf armor has this research mark, and it seems pretty high quality. You'd have to be well connected to get something like this. Okay. See you later, Keita. Okay, so pasok na tayo dito sa Storm Drain. So, next episode, pasok na tayo dito. So, save muna natin. At least may progress tayo kahit paano. Pero ang dami pa rin natin kailangan gawing objectives eh. Oh, save ko lang. Hindi pwede mag-save. Lul. Naglalakad. Kaya pala. Naglakad na habang doon. Save mo natin. Okay. Okay guys, Kaya Sandala sa signing off. Next episode na lang ulit.